Good morning, students. I'm very happy to welcome you all back after holidays. I hope you all enjoyed your holidays well and staying healthy and safe at home. Take care of your health always. It is must you have to eat healthy food and keep your surroundings healthy and hygienic. And I hope you all did the eye exercise also. Don't forget. So, hereafter, you have to do the eye exercise first before watching the video content. Okay, today we are going to start new lesson in chemistry, periodic classification of elements. So far we have completed two lesson in chemistry. One is matter around us, the other one is the atomic structure. This is our third lesson in chemistry. So before that, let's see some interesting facts about elements, because we are going to discuss with elements. So let us discuss about hydrogen. So if you see this hydrogen, it is the lightest element on earth and the only element with no neutrons, because hydrogen has only one proton and one electron and it has no neutron, and it is colorless and odorless gas, extremely flammable in gaseous form, and makes up to 75% of mass of the universe because it is present in large amount. And intestinal bacteria produce in excess of 1 liter of hydrogen gas per day. Even our body produces hydrogen about 1 liter per day. Now let's start the lesson. The name of the lesson is Periodic Classification of Elements. So this is our concept map. See, under this lesson we are going to discuss what were the early concept and what is the modern concept we are following now and how it is classified and what are the uses. Today we are going to discuss this early concept, okay, that is Dobrynin's triads, Newland's octaves and Mendeleev's periodic table. First, why do we need these classification of elements? Can anyone tell me why do we need this classification? For example, like we are having so many students in our school, like different grades, like 6th, 7th, 8th, so many grade students are there. So if I want to call a boy from 6th standard, I have to mention the standard, section and his name so that I can easily identify that particular person. If there is no classification at all, for example, one class is having all the students of mixed, like 6th, 7th, 8th, 6th to 10th, all the students are present inside the class, means will it be easy for us to identify anyone? No. Always we have to organize something or we have to classify something. Only then it will be easy for us. That too, we are living in a world of so many substances, and all these substances were formed by the various combination of elements. So all the elements, they are unique and their properties are very unique, so we need to categorize them according to their properties. So what scientists did, they were looking for a way, they were looking for a method to classify these elements. So in 1800, if you see, there were only 31 known elements. By 1865 they become 63, and now 118 elements are there in the periodic table. How many elements are there in the periodic table? 118 elements are there in the periodic table. So if something is made large in number, we need to find a good way to organize them. Only when your bookshelf is organized, you can easily pick the book whenever you want. Whatever book you want, you can pick by yourself whenever you want. Same way, we need to organize these elements because scientists felt very difficult to handle all these elements together because everyone were unique in their nature. So they started to identify a method looking for some pattern on the basis which they could study a large number of elements. So we are going to discuss about that only. So what were the concepts were followed by the scientists in the early days to organize these elements in a table? So we have three concepts. So all these concepts, the first three concepts, what we are going to see now comes under the early concept of classification, because in the olden days, early concept means in the olden days, what were the classification were followed by them, we are going to see. So first was Dobrynin's triads. How to pronounce them? Dobrynin's triads, Newland's octaves, and Mendeley's periodic table. Now let's see first Dobrynin's triads. So this was discovered by Johann Wolfgang Dobrynin in 1817, who is a German chemist. He suggested a method of grouping elements based on their atomic mass. Based on what, children? Atomic mass. So he arranged the elements into groups containing 3 elements each. That is what it was named as triads. So tri means 3. So let's see the law. What was the law he gave? Let's see. See here, when the 3 elements in a triad are arranged in the ascending order of their atomic mass, which means increasing order of their atomic mass, the atomic mass of the middle element is nearly the same as the average atomic mass of the other 2 elements. So this statement we call it as Dobrynin's law, which means he calculated the atomic mass by grouping the elements into 3 elements. So for example, if you see here, he took lithium, sodium and potassium. Lithium atomic mass is 6.9, sodium is 23, potassium is 39.1. So if you add the first and last element and divide that by 2, which means you have to take the average of first and last element, then you will get the atomic mass of the second element. So if you can see here, lithium is 6.9 and potassium is 39.1. When you add and divide that by 2, you are getting the value as 23, which is the atomic mass of the second element, sodium. So this was the idea. So he took groups into 3 elements, and then he said when you add the first and last element and you take the average of it, you will get the atomic mass of the second element. That is what he said. There were some limitations. Limitations means it was not applicable to all the elements. So there were some drawbacks. Dobrynin could identify only 3 triads from the elements known at that time, and all the elements could not be classified to form the triads. So if you can see here, so how many triads? 1, 2, 3. So he was able to give only 3 triads. It was not applicable for all the elements. And second limitation was the law was not applicable to elements having very low and very high atomic mass. Is it clear? So this is Dobrynin's triads. Next, moving on to the Newland's law of octaves.